Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel for another update on Jasmy. Let's waste no time and jump right into this. What on earth is happening right now? Binance just absolutely destroyed Jasmy with this tweet. What is this announcement? What is going to happen for Jasmy next? What are the price targets? Let's talk about all of this and more. So, about 10 hours ago, Binance came out and tweeted the following. We will move these following assets into the innovation zone. Jasmy was one of them. If you haven't heard of the innovation zone before, this is what you need to know. This is basically a category of cryptos that Binance puts into, and Binance basically states these are coins or tokens that likely have higher volatility and pose a higher risk than other investments. Now, the innovation zone is absolutely great. You've got some amazing projects in there like the FTX token. You've got some amazing projects like the football fan tokens and burger cities. Oh my gosh. Binance just absolutely violated Jasmy. It is getting nuked as we speak. It broke down about 25% after this tweet came out. So now, first of all, before we dive into the analysis, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not the one who runs Binance. I'm not the one who moved Jasmy into the same pool as the FTX token. Oh my days. Binance CZ has just done Jasmy extremely dirty. So what's happened in the price action since then? Let's talk about this. Well, let's start off very simple. From our Fibonacci's, from the most recent swing high in February down to the low, as you can see, Jasmy beautifully reverted into this golden ratio between the 0.5 and the 786 Fibonacci. We did not manage to close above the 786 Fibonacci and have a bullish close. We got rejected and we are absolutely nuking. Since today, we've violated the 618 Fibonacci, we violated the 0.5 Fibonacci, we violated the 382 Fibonacci with a absolutely brutal bearish engulfing candle, just finding support at 0.00523. If we break beneath this level, there are some other fibs that you can keep your eyes on. For example, if we do draw our Fibonacci from our swing low to swing high now, you can see we're coming right down to the 618 at this moment in time. So expect Jasmy to trend down about a further 10% before we find any significant support. Another drop to about 27% would be meaning that we'd be finding a little bit of support at the 786 Fibonacci. But in general, we've lost the majority of major supports. If we look at the EMA ribbons, we've just got rejected from the short-term moving averages with this double top formation. If we get rid of the EMA ribbons and we look at the bull market support bands, we've just got double topped above the bull market support bands, and we've now got a bearish engulfing candle through the floorboards of this bull market support band. While this has happened in the past week, we've got a new data point for the stochastic RSI, which has now flipped bearish for Jasmy. The last time this flipped bearish was right around here. We proceeded with a 47% drop to the downside, and we're only down about 32% right now. So all in all, expect lots more continuation. We, of course, also do have a double top in the stochastic RSI, and if you didn't know, the stochastic RSI pretty much trends between 0 and 100 most of the time. Now, sometimes you can see it come up to 80. Over here, you can see it come up to 60. In general, if you look at the stock on pretty much every single crypto, it just goes from 0 to 100. Sometimes resets at the heartline before double topping and then coming back down to 0. So it's looking like there's lots of room for Jasmy to get continuation based on this. I still can't get over this. They're in the same pool as FTX token. This is really, really not a good look for Jasmy right now. Am I saying that Jasmy is going to go to 0 or do the same thing as FTX token? Am I saying it's going to be a rug pull? Am I saying any of these things? No, I'm not. I'm just pointing out the facts here. It is in the same pool as all of these other garbage coins. It is not a good look. Can it make a recovery in the future? Yes. Is it looking good for the short term? No. We also do have this brutal M pattern right now developing for Jasmy with a neckline down at 0.0043. So this is really the major support in the markets, which I'm going to be looking at. Let's also see if this lines up with our fib. So we would be taking out the 618 Fibonacci at that point. This box down here is your absolute last line in the sand. If you want Jasmy to hold up, you absolutely need to see this green box right here hold up. This is your 786. This is the bottom of the neckline of this M pattern breakdown. If we do something like this, back test it and then come back down, things are going to be brutal. The price target of this M pattern is at new bear market lows at 0.0021. As you can see from where we are right now, this is approximately a 60% drop, 59.3% if you want to cherry pick. Now let's move on to our swing failure chart, also known as a SFP chart. Now this is one of the major charts we've been looking at on the channel for the past few weeks, letting you know this is one of the major reasons why we have been bearish on Jasmy. Now of course no one could have really predicted that Binance was going to move Jasmy into the innovation zone, so this wasn't part of my analysis, but yeah, this definitely helped. As you can see, if we come over to our range high chart, you can see range lows, range highs. What happened when we had an SFP pattern to the downside? Huge move. SFP pattern to the upside, huge move back down, double SFP pattern right here, and wow, this was an even bigger move than we've seen in these past 2 data points. So this is what we were highlighting over here, this is what we were highlighting over here. We're still making lower highs in this market structure, and things are not looking good for Jasmy. The price targets on this chart are basically coming down to the range lows round about 0.0034 cent, and at which point, why not get continuation to new lows? Now this most recent scam pump deviation for Jasmy, if we come over to here, look at the daily time frame, you can see boom, we obviously deviated above this previous top, and it wasn't just because of Binance that we didn't get continuation. We had 1 day above this previous data point, and this was also like a mini SFP with a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. Binance just obviously once again helped with this. But what can you see on this chart over here? You got the price action right here making highs. You've got higher highs. In fact, you can actually take it back to here. You've got highs, higher highs, higher highs. What do you have in the oscillator? You've got highs, you've got lower highs, you've got lower highs. What happens when the price action is continuing to push up while the oscillator, we're looking at the MFI showing us the money flow index, is breaking to the downside? Well, this is regular bearish divergence, and as you can see, this is starting to play out. So yeah, not looking good. Let's move on to our next chart. Now, in terms of the Elliott wave theory, I really don't want to beat the dead horse on this one. This is macro, so you know I can't really spend too much time updating this. When we updated it in the last video, we obviously had a bottom over here in 2021. We had an ABC correction, and we've been starting a new 5-wave correction to the downside. Very, very simple. It looks like we might be, well, we've just double topped on wave 4 here, so you could argue that something like this has taken place. Maybe this makes more sense to draw the wave 4 from here, because this isn't really a clear wave 1, wave 2. Wave 2 should be much lower than wave 4, although could be valid, somewhat ambiguous as to how you want to draw this. But it's likely that we're going to be starting a new micro wave count to the downside, coming down for wave 5, which could potentially be one of the last major breakdowns for Jasmy in this bear market. So where could this wave 5 bottom out? Well, just quickly before we talk about the price target, Jasmy BTC is getting violated. We talked about this in the last video, that we could potentially be setting up a breakdown of the Jasmy BTC pair. We talked about a 50% drop coming. We are now down 14, almost 15% since we made this prediction. Jasmy BTC could still potentially drop another 42% to the downside. We're very, very close to making new bear market lows. And with this bearish engulfing candle, we're pretty much right back at where we started when Jasmy started rallying. So a lot of people, when I make altcoin videos, say, you know, make the mistake of saying, you know, you should just DCA every single dip on the altcoins throughout the entire bear market. That is not a good way of navigating the market. I did this when I was a noob to crypto back in 2017. I DCA'd altcoins, I DCA'd good altcoins, which eventually did recover and do massive returns. But if you've been DCAing Jasmy for the past few years or so, even from these, you know, monumental lows, if you bought the exact bottom, you've got to witness, you know, absolute face tears to the upside to even become break even. That is not in my investment strategy. I did that in 2017. Everyone said just DCA the altcoins, the whole bear market down, and it took like, you know, a year or two of the bull run to eventually get break even. That's not what you want to do. Instead of DCAing every single dip, you should be waiting for a pivot in the markets. I'd rather miss out on the first, you know, 50%, 100% pump in the bull run for these altcoins, which are going to do 100x's, than DCA every single dip and get annihilated. If you're DCAing these altcoins, if you're DCAing Bitcoin, that's a different thing. I'm DCAing Bitcoin every single time since 25k that's been making new lows. If you're DCAing these altcoins, which are constantly making new bear market low, new bear market low, new bear market low, new bear market low against Bitcoin every other month, you're just taking on tons of extra risk rather than DCAing Bitcoin. If you're DCAing Bitcoin, you're obviously taking risk. But if your altcoin, like Jasmy, is just making new lows all the time against Bitcoin, you are not only taking on tons of extra risk, you are not getting rewarded whatsoever. In fact, you're waiting for potential 5x, 10x pumps on these altcoins to even break even before you're rewarded. That's just my opinion. Like I said, DCA these altcoins if you want. It's not in my investment strategy. Did it in 2017. I'm happy to admit that it did not work out. I invested in good altcoins which did absolute massive tears into the next cycle, but it took absolutely ages of the bull run to get those dips back. If you were buying religiously since the top, buying every single dip, it is not a good look. We are very, very close to making new bear market lows, 21% away, 20% away from new lows on the Jasmy BTC pairs. Now, in terms of where is Jasmy going to, we looked at some Fibonacci targets at the start of the video, letting us know that we're getting rejected from a very, very significant top structure on this golden ratio. If we do start falling beneath the last Fibonacci at 0.004, 0.00395, if you really want to be specific, this is my price target. If we zoom out, we've been looking at this Fibonacci target for quite some time. The last time we updated this in the video, we talked about this being an 83% drop down to new bear market lows. We've obviously dropped about 10% so far, so not really anything major. I still think we drop about another 81.2% to come down to the psychological level 0.001. If you're slightly more conservative than myself, if you're slightly more bullish, you might be looking at the 0.1236 Fibonacci down here, which is a 71.6% drop from where we are right now. Also, if I do draw this Fibonacci swing low up to the swing high again that I deleted at the start of the video, you can see there's also a 1.236 down here, which is a 73% drop. So, you know, all in all, I see a lot of confluence right down at these levels. I see a lot of support built between 0.0015 and 0.001. For today, my friends, that is all I've got for Jasmy. You know my price targets, you know my thoughts, you know what I think about this range, this bearish divergence which is developing, higher time frame, macro Elliott wave theory. Everything points to the fact that Jasmy should be moving lower. For today, my friends, that's all I've got. If you do enjoy my content, as always, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Follow me over on my Twitter at 618_cowboy. I'll leave it here. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.